so it might meet the code with the two sides and then the foam, but yeah, I guess he was going to have, maybe you guys went out there either today or tomorrow, and we can talk about that after the meeting. But I just wondered that, so that's the thing, is if people have agreed to something and the contractor doesn't do it, we don't as a city get involved. We get involved if it meets the code or not.
It certainly depends on what it is, but if a contract issue, probably not so much.
Yeah, okay.
There are state statutes with warranties that would help protect citizens, but the code is plenty usually.
So if citizens have questions about that, they can call, right? Obviously,
absolutely.
And ask. And,
yes.
Because, you want things, I remember when I did a remodels, you want things to be safe as the first thing, right? And to meet the code and those types of things.
Yes.
Councilmember Juniman. Okay. So there was that one. I also wanted to ask about code enforcement just a little bit. You had mentioned it. This is another thing publicly we get a lot of questions about. And I know you've beefed up the plan and you're working with Chief Schnell on that. And Chris Swanson, it looks like there were a lot more, your numbers are up, right? Can you talk a little bit about code enforcement and what's happening there and the increased efforts and so forth?
Sure. Mayor, City Council, the numbers for code enforcement are up because of the way that we're communicating with the public, in the way I believe. We have the code hotline and other ways for people to call us and let us know, email us and let us know there's an issue. People are seeing results, so they're calling to say, hey, I want to see some results too. So this is how we're looking at it. So we have one person that dedicates a lot of their day to code enforcement. We have another person in our staff that helps them with some of the tasks, and then also the health officer when it starts to get involved with something a little bit heavy, and of course the police department when we need some help there. So there's been a lot more people involved, the citizens more involved, so a lot more of the calls are coming in. Today, that particular staff member was having an A+ day. He said, yep, 7 of them I went out to had complied.
Excellent.
And then another one of the assistants came in and said, he says, well, how'd that one go? He said, well, everything was done. Good. And so that was 8. And then we got up to 9. So, I mean, there's just a lot more people able to communicate with us in a lot of more different ways. We're getting a lot more calls, and a lot of things are getting done. So they see it's getting done, and they know, hey, if I call, somebody's going to do something about it.
Exactly. So thank you. I mean, I think that message has come across loud and clear, and I think residents are seeing the change, and some have been frustrated for a while, so it's good to see things happening. So we really appreciate the extra enforcement, both from the police and then from your department and everything that you're doing, because I think, so it's a matter of pride for residents, if they feel like their neighbor's house doesn't look as good because the codes are being broken or different things are happening, it's really helpful. Councilmember Juniman.
Yeah, I just want to say that we had an incident in our neighborhood where a house was put into foreclosure not a moment too soon, and there were several neighbors that had really been concerned for a long time, and they would call and call and call, and there were police calls and blah blah, and finally it was our code enforcement officer who basically helped us along, saying, he had a really nice chat with the people who were the, if you will, the offenders, but they were kind of caught in a trap. And so his pushing got them to move along, and it's already being rehabbed for the market. Our code enforcement person has always also been in contact with the realtor. So he's very proactive, and you're right. I think once people see that being done, it's a positive. That his, at least in our eyes,
yeah.
his workload is expanding because people are seeing how much it pays off.
Mm-hmm. Again, holding people accountable, right? Mm-hmm. I think that they take a couple of times, but eventually they fix it up. So
he also does it in a very nice manner, I have to say.
Yeah, so nice job. Thanks for your report. And I think that takes us on to the next item, if there's no further questions, which is the fire department. So City Manager Coleman.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council. First of all, when talking to the mayor this morning, realized that we had not really made a public announcement about the promotion of Chief Schnell to Public Safety Director. And I wanted to put that out